Welcome back. One man down, but that's okay because we're gonna. It's time to start the Spoilercast.
I don't know why I'm making that sound, but that's just excited sound.
It's just very exciting.
I played this game and then basically made you buy it.
I was planning on buying it regardless. I didn't. You didn't make me do anything. Not because you told me to. No. I was planning on buying it because I heard it was very good from the preliminary reviews. Like the embargo lifted for that game like a long time before.
That's because it came on Xbox One a couple weeks before it came out on PC.
I see. Okay, that makes sense. Yes, I was very confused when I started because like it was just a cold opening, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to start at the beginning? I guess. I mean, we could go through it chronologically, or
chronologically is not really a.
I mean, I guess it's not. It's kind of useless to do. So yeah.
What is your analysis of what happened in the game?
Like just physically, just very from like what I saw, or like what it means.
I mean, what you saw is pretty concrete.
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think the story is?
So
because there's no words in this game.
No words, no dialogue. There's some grunting and some yelling,
some gunshots,
and some disgusting noises. There's kind of gross. But so it looks like the story is basically looks like some sort of dystopian society, I guess, where people are rounded up as, I guess it's kind of like what some people think would be a utopia. Others would think as a hell. But another thing, what I actually towards the end, I realized that maybe the entire world, quote unquote, outside of what they broke out of was some sort of like controlled experiment from the people way up where.
Interesting.
But I got a lot of like. Have you ever watched The Island?
No.
Do you know what it is though?
Nope.
Okay, so like it's the idea is that like there's a ton of these people, right? And like it's like a post-apocalyptic world, and then but they've remade society and it's perfect, and like they live in these little self-contained little cities, like that are giant buildings, right? And like people, they live very peaceful lives basically. But sometimes people get mysteriously taken away, and people, they don't know why. And so as the story progresses, do you mind if I spoil the movie for you?
Go for it.
Okay. But double spoiler cast. Towards the end of the film, it turns out that the people that were living in this society in the little building city were not in fact survivors of a post-apocalyptic event. They are in fact clones of rich people who are going to be farmed for their organs.
Weird.
Yeah, so like the scientists they control everything they do, and and their diets and everything. The diet was very important, so they have healthy organs. And then
for the rich people, assuming?
Yeah, for the rich people, yeah.
Huh.
So I was thinking it was something sort of like that, where like people are like experimented on or used as like a commodity. I mean, you could tell they were kind of used as a commodity for like labor, right?
Yeah,
the mind control thing.
Yeah, it was like direct mind control with them. It wasn't trickery. It was like they're basically zombie husks of people that did whatever they were controlled to do.
But so I guess what was basically happening is bad people were rounding up regular people and turning them into zombies to be controlled for labor. And then additionally there was some weird experiment going on up top. I don't know what that was about.
The big flesh ball.
With the big flesh ball and the reverse water, and
yeah,
that was really weird. Another thing, like there's not many characters in that game other than the main character. And then but like there's that kid, right? Did you remember that kid when you're hiding behind the box, like in the warehouse? And there's that kid with the red hair.
No idea what you're talking about.
Do you really?
Because this one is like the kid and his dad came through and they took the crate of people.
Yeah.
I don't remember him having red hair at all.
Oh, okay. I thought he had red hair, but yeah, the kid and his dad. Like, I don't know what that was about. Do you know what that was about?
Not that specific moment. I don't know.
Okay. So I mean,
the game just has like themes of control all over the fucking place.
Yeah.
So like the father-son relationship was, just like throwing that in there is like this is another type of control.
I guess.
I don't know like if there's any specific poignant part of that, but one thing you mentioned about the game in private conversation was that it felt like a dream.
Yeah, it felt like a dream because like a lot like so I would always have dreams as a kid. Like I was like running away from a prison. They were exciting dreams. They were really fun dreams to have, but they were super intense. And I was like, there's this innate fear. It's like if you fuck up, you're going back to captivity, and you're gonna it's gonna be worse than before, right? So it's like there's like a ton of stress on you. It's very stressful to be running away from the powers that be.
Yeah.
So like, and I got that feeling, especially in the first couple chapters, hiding from the authorities or whatever. And like sometimes I messed up, and I found out what happened when I messed up.
Yeah.
And like it was terrifying every single time. Like the music, especially.
It was dreamlike in a lot of ways. One, you said like when you mess up, they kill you in the most cold, lifeless, humanless way possible. Which is, a dream is not like dreams aren't dramatized at all. Like it's a movie or something. It's just like this is happening. So is that the way the environments transition, where it's like this wouldn't logistically make any fucking sense of like you go underneath. You go through a forest and then a pig farm and then a factory, and then under the factory is like a bunch of broken ships, and then you go into
underwater, and then like
underwater again, and higher up. And you're in a laboratory in the mountain. Like none of it logistically makes sense, but it all flows in the same way that like it just logically flows. Like you don't notice it.
Yeah, I didn't notice it. I'm like, wait.
In the same way that a dream has lapses of logic, and you don't notice it at all.
Yeah,
and in the same way, another part of it, like a dream, is. There's this specific lack of detail in like visuals of like they don't have faces. Everything's just a cold, like sterile, not like a laboratory way, but like a empty warehouse kind of feeling.
Blank slate, yeah,
like blank cement. That's another dreamlike thing, and it was very, very dreamlike, which is I'm all about that because. The works of Haruki Murakami, my favorite author, every book is like a 600-page long dream.
Oh, I gotta read it.
Magical realism.
Gotta read that then.
It's amazing stuff. This magical realism is pretty good.
That's not
a light comparison for me to make. Oh, I should mention this is one of my favorite games of all time.
Apparently, I mean,
You're cooler on it than me.
I'm a little cooler on it than you. Yeah. I'm wondering what makes it so good for you. So go ahead and gush.
Okay. Well, at first I want to say it's my third favorite game of all time. I thought about it and put it on my list. Behind BioShock and Portal 2.
BioShock, just the original BioShock and Portal 2? That's a good list. Hell
yeah.
Yeah.
So what made this game so amazing for me, other than like this game is 4 hours long and took 6 years to make.
Yeah.
So the attention to detail is insane. Subtlety is insane.
Yes.
Of like visual storytelling.
Do you think it was a little bit too subtle sometimes? You're scared that you miss something?
No.
Okay.
I'm fucking so tired of hand-holding in games.
Okay.
Of like, this is the story. You will know the story. This game does not give you an inch at all.
That's true.
Any element of like the gameplay, the story, like what actually is happening, it doesn't give you an inch. It trusts you and puts all the impetus on you, which I love.
Yeah,
I like being challenged by games. That doesn't happen that often.
Right. So let's talk about the developers real quick, because I mean, these are the Playdead. These are the same guys who did Limbo, if I'm correct.
Yes.
Or okay, yeah.
That's all something that kind Limbo and Inside.
That's something that kind of made me a little bit apprehensive about the game, because I mean, if you've played Limbo, triple spoiler cast, the game is basically just you reliving your life, like before you die in a horrible car accident.
Yeah, because the game's called Limbo.
Yeah,
you're stuck in limbo.
So when I was with that in mind, when I cold opening, boy running, scrolling right in a dark environment, I'm like, oh shit, it's Limbo all over again. Oh no, this is going to be a very sad game.
So it is a sad game. So the way it's different from Limbo
It's not. It's crippling depressing.
It's not. It's not. It's more of like the ending really.
It's more adventurous. It's a little bit more adventurous than Limbo.
But Limbo, it's a 2D side-scrolling platformer puzzle game like Limbo. But the puzzles, they very rarely reuse puzzles.
The puzzles were phenomenal in this game.
Incredible puzzles.
I've never played a game with such clever puzzles that like
minimalistic design too.
It's the interesting thing is like I'm like, wow, this is a really cool mechanic. Like they're definitely going to make me use this for the rest of the game. No, they just drop it.
Absolutely, it was awesome. Like the mind control helmet, you're like, oh, this is the game, and then they do it twice, and you're fucking done, and they move on to the next concept.
Yeah,
it's really great in that way, where it's like that's a really big issue with games is they get a cool mechanic and fucking like. Oh,
here are the little here's the little cubes that you could launch with. You know, we're gonna use that. You're gonna see those a lot, aren't you?
Yeah.
Well, actually,
this is a cool JRPG battle system. Now do it for 300 hours. So yeah, most games fucking destroy their mechanics because they overuse them. Minimalistic. Minimalistic's a buzzword for me.
Personal buzzword.
But like gameplay wise, it's clever as like so fucking clever with very little. In terms of mechanics or like each individual puzzle, there's not a ton of different ways you can interact with it, but it's still tricky. Like that's so incredibly hard to design. There is the one where there's the metal slate that's going in a circle and you have to try and avoid the sound blast.
Oh my god!
And that was my favorite puzzle. Is the one that fucking destroyed me. It's like there's one thing I can do here, and I can't figure it out.
What was your least favorite though?
I can't think of anything.
My least favorite was the fucking dogs.
Oh, the walking back and forth between the fence, going over the fence over
Fuck
again?
that.
Why?
Fuck that. Okay, so like I think it was because just how agonizingly slow the kid pulled the boards, and I kept dying.
It's tension.
I don't understand the tension, and like I understand like how you're supposed to do it, but it was just so frustrating after dying for the fourth time. I'm like, wait, can I go in now? I think he pulled out enough boards. Wait, nope, not enough. Sorry, you're ripped to shreds.
I'm like, I'm gonna have to pull out all 5 of these fucking boards, and eventually he just walks in anyway. It doesn't matter.
You're like, wait, you mean I could have gone in that time too?
But that's a good example for one of the things of the puzzle I liked. You used real world logic to solve the puzzles, not video game logic.
Actually, yes.
That fucking murders me in so many games where it's like this character wouldn't do
this.
That's
like a survival thing.
Because it's a stupid fucking thing to do. But this game, the way to solve the puzzle is the logical thing to do, and he's a very clever kid, obviously.
Well,
so like going over that, well, clever as I am, yes, I have a big fucking hole of talking about that too. But I was still talking about mechanics.
Right.
Once you're using it's just like the minimalistic aspect of that I love.
Mm-hmm.
The subtle world building of like there is the first area where they have the springs that get you and hang you up by one limb.
Well, I mean the first area is guns, but
no, I'm saying the first area that happens.
Oh,
there's a lot of
different
areas with the springs.
Yeah.
Where I was like walking by, I was like, I wonder why all those people have springs in them, and then I got fucking hit, and it was like, that's why we have springs in them. That's a cool little thing you wouldn't know. And let's just
that game was super tense.
Yes, so fantastic.
Like from the beginning, I mean, I was very tense, but like I remember going to the farm, right? I think that's like the second place you go, right? Mm-hmm. And like I remember like going to the farm, and then there's that little lever in the middle of the room with the generator. Yeah, by the way, I thought we were gonna have to use those your little friends.
Throw the honey chicks at them over and over again.
Yeah,
I thought I was gonna murder those chickens, and I did that. I didn't want to do it. Trying to find another way to do it. They're totally fine.
Well, like that lever, I didn't really see clearly, and I saw the red, right, and I thought that is an axe. I am going to die on the axe in the middle of the room. So like I was just like so stressed out. The music design was phenomenal in terms of building up tension. Like I recently installed a couple of bookshelf speakers on my desk, and they blew me away with like I don't even have a subwoofer, and these things had amazing bass response. And like, oh my god, the bass, like the use of bass in this game is just like so terrifying.
Yes. Minimalistic.
The music was really good. Yes.
Buzzword. Hashtag.
Hey, if it was truly minimalistic, it would be using lowercase letters for the entire title.
If it's like artsy minimalistic, it's like bullshit. Yeah. Minimalistic isn't trying to take everything out of it. It's removing the bullshit so you get the best. Bullshit. Yeah. So you get the best of what you're trying to do, and that this game did it. Everything is with purpose. That is exactly minimalism. Every little thing is very specifically designed with purpose. And that's hard to do in video games because the player's experience is dictated by them, not by you. So it's hard to do, like, remove all the excess because you don't know what the player is going to experience exactly. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I understand. Like, did you ever feel like you were trying to game the game?
In what way?
Like, I remember as soon as I hit the water, right? I was like, wow, they show a lot of the underwater area. Looks like I have to swim down, and then I found a secret.
Oh, so I found one secret.
I found a good amount, just because, I don't know, maybe I was trying too hard to game the game, like I said, but like every time I was in a water scene, I always like had to explore the entire body of water, which I mean, towards the later levels, that becomes less and less viable. Yeah. You're getting chased by a crazy, manic, terrifying little nymph thing. But I just like sometimes I felt like I had to explore too much, and I was getting a little paranoid because like the puzzles were so clever that they had me I started overestimating them.
Okay.
Like in the sense of like, oh wait, no, I gotta cover all my bases.
It's always clear what you need to do. How you do it is like that's the important part. A lot of shitty puzzles, you're like, I don't even know what the fuck I'm supposed to do. Like adventure game puzzles are notorious for this. You have to like put a chicken in a CD drive and then throw it over the river or something, like logic that does not make any sense at all.
Right.
But this game, you feel like this is how I progress. Okay, how do I do this? And your mindset is the same as the character. Like, I know this is what I need to do. I should look around and find things to help me do this.
Okay, so like, oh yeah, in another puzzle, like this one got me fooled for sure. So towards the end, right, you're that big blob, right? And like, there's like that furnace, and you have like that box, and then you're going towards the furnace, right?
Yeah.
I swear to God.
I have no idea.
No, did you think what I was thinking?
You would like throw yourself in the furnace?
Yes. I was like, all right, and, like kill me. Just like jump into the furnace, and that's the end of the game. I thought that was how it was gonna end. I swear. But no, like the tossing over it, that was clever. I thought that was very clever. It was really funny how it caught things too.
Yeah, it's like, God, it's so good. But also, so main thing that I've been thinking about this game and why it's elevated to hashtag art and hashtag number 3 on hashtag Taylor Kelsey's
hashtag minimalism, hashtag
minimalist hashtags. Use 12 of them all at once. That's minimalism. But so the themes of the game: control and conformity. That's what I've basically got out of it. You're always talking about control people through conformity a lot of the times. Of like, everyone has to be the same, the zombies, in order to get control of them so you can accomplish things. And you as the player, you are completely different from everyone. And you have no control at all. But as the game goes on, you get more and more control. And this is like, for example, dogs. You have to run away from them, then you learn how to go over the fence. And at the end, when you're the blob, the dogs are fucking scared.
You don't give a fuck. You don't give a fuck about the dogs. So you
get more and more control. And the way you do this in the game is by becoming the oppressors. You use the same tools as the oppressors. Not like with the dogs example, but you use the yellow jet-powered boxes and you use the mind-controlled zombies.
The mind control. Right. And then, I mean, at the end, you kind of use it against them too. Like,
it seems like the boys' goal is to release that weird control experiment thing, right? Did you get that at all? That seems like his goal.
Yeah.
Because I mean, what was plugged into the blob was the different mind control helmets. There's 4 of those plugged in.
I mean, they look like different colors, so I wasn't like quite sure.
They were orange.
Okay. That's okay. That makes sense. Like, I mean, I don't know if that was his original goal when he first started. You know, I don't know where that shift is. Where the point where it's like, from trying to survive to just like, oh, I gotta do something.
All right, here's I'm gonna get into my theory. It's
okay. All right, let's.
So this explains it perfectly. I've just written this down in rough draft of 2 pages right now, so I'm trying to skim through it and
This is
kind
awesome.
of
This is
point
awesome.
out for you.
I love how passionate you're about this game.
I really have you noticed how fast I've been talking?
I love it. I love it. I honestly, that's my favorite thing about hobbyists, like all these things. Like, I just like love watching people get passionate about something. It's phenomenal. Go on.
So he gains control throughout the game using the methodology of the bad, evil corporation oppressor people, the mind-controlled zombies, jet fireboxes. He slowly turns into them in order to beat them. He uses all their fucked up tools in order to try and save the blob thing. And that at the end, he becomes so much like the oppressors that he gets sucked up into like the conformity monster at the end.
Oh, right, because he starts kind of terrorizing the people.
Yeah, he becomes so much like his oppressors that he physically becomes the monster he was fighting against.
Right.
At the end of the game.
That's pretty good.
And it seems like the first playthrough, he seems to like just trying to survive. He's just fucking running away from shit, running left to right constantly. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
The game was entirely left to right.
Yeah.
And his goals seem to line up with yours in terms of puzzle solving. It's like, I just need to progress. I need to keep going.
Right. And
it's always kind of weird in games where it's like, I know that there's a fucking crate here, so I'm going to use that crate to jump over stuff.
Uh-huh.
But the character wouldn't really know that.
Right.
But we don't really understand the context for a lot of things he's doing that we know because we're playing the game.
Uh-huh.
So the theme of control of him getting more control over the oppressors. But we think we are in total control of the boy because we're the game player, right?
Right. Yeah.
But when the game ends, after the ball, the weird flesh ball, rolls down the mountain, he falls out of the mountain. The beginning of the game is him rolling down a hill and standing up.
Yes.
The end of the game is the ball that he was in rolling down the hill, and then the ball dies.
Yes.
I think he fell out of that ball, and the game was cyclical.
Oh.
Meaning that he knew what he was doing with those puzzles because he's fucking done it before.
That's super meta and like super conspiracy theory. Like
it's shit. Whatever. That's the game. That's how the game starts and ends.
I mean, you're right. I mean, you're probably right. You could be right.
It's art, man. It doesn't matter if I'm right. It's whatever I think.
It's crazy. I mean, it's a crazy idea. That's what I'm saying.
So him going through the puzzles of the game, like, yep, fucking move the block, jump on it, do that. He's done it before. So it's so not spooky. So that kind of brings in. That was like the one part of the game that messed with me a little bit. Is I hated, even though the puzzles were really good at aligning your goals with the characters, there were some times where it's like he wouldn't know to use this fucking thing.
He's 8 years old. He's cold. He just got out of some water. You know, he's fighting for his life here. There's no way he's gonna be able to think coherently enough to, line up some boxes and throw himself off of a cliff.
But the first playthrough, you think you have total control of the boy, but after it resets and you realize he's already done that before, it's weird where it's like dramatic irony is the audience knows more than the character. It fucking flips that on its head where the character actually knew more than the player, even though the player was controlling him.
Oh,
and that fits directly at the theme of control where he is using mind control helmets to control people. Their exact movements, you were doing the exact same thing.
This is a lot deeper than I expected.
Yeah, that's why it's amazing.
Oh, this is very
and here's
good.
Where and at the end, he's always trying to get to the end and just take over that conformity, the conformity monster ball thing.
Right.
But he always gets sucked back into it.
Right.
Always, because it's a cycle. The game's story is always happening.
Okay.
It keeps doing that over and over and over again.
Okay.
Do you know about Sisyphus?
Yes, the guy who rolls up. So the story of Sisyphus is like he did some bad thing, I assume, and he was condemned.
Humanity fire.
He gave. Yeah. Really? Okay. I thought that was. I thought that was.
That? Am I wrong? Okay.
I thought that was.
He did some bad thing.
He did some bad thing. And he was condemned to roll a ball up a hill, and for the rest of his life.
Every time it got to the top of the hill, it rolled back down.
Yeah.
This game is him struggling up a hill until he gets to that ball.
And then he rolls.
And he fails, and the ball rolls down the hill, and he has to restart.
Oh, that's amazing. It's great. It's great.
This game is Sisyphean torment, where he's always he is in more control than the oppressors and the player, but he's still not in more control than his fate, where he's always going to fucking do this thing over and over again.
Taylor, where's your bulletin board? I want to see your bulletin board with all the strings like going from like one frame to another, and you're like, wait.
It's this Google Docs page. It's a badly written 2 pages.
So actually, this begs the questions. Like, did you come up with this theory before you wrote it, or as you wrote your paper?
Before I wrote it.
Okay.
This is stuff like, because the game gives you plenty of time to think about it. It's a pretty you're just kind of walking.
Very slow paced, yeah.
It's really, you have 4 hours to think about what the fuck this game means. When you look at a piece of art, you look at it and go, I don't know what the fuck that means, and you walk on. This game, you were immersed in it for 4 hours, so you have a lot of time to actually think it all through, right?
Yes. I was just very confused for a lot of it, and just because of some of the things that they were doing. Just from some mechanics, like reverse water. What the?
Oh yeah, the reverse water, and that's another thing where he takes control. He's always in danger of drowning. He's in the water a lot in danger of drowning, and he gets control and he doesn't drown anymore.
There were layers, I feel like, in the game, because at the bottom, there's rock. There's you're at the ground, right? And there's some water and stuff, and then you get to the water level, right? And then you get back up again, and you're going higher and higher, and then there's water, and then there's air, and then there's water again.
Yeah.
And then there's the top where with all the, because that's how I kind of pictured all the levels. It kind of goes up.
Yeah.
Just sort of support your Sisyphus theory. So yeah, I don't know where I was going with that, but.
And another small element to add to the Sisyphus theory is the game never stops. It keeps going on and on as long as you keep playing, and the only way to get out of the Sisyphean torment is to quit the game. The secret ending for that game, after you get all the secrets and go to the secret room,
yes,
is him unplugging and turning off.
Does the game quit?
I don't know if the game quit. It's the end of the game, so
yeah, I know. I was about to get to that. I'm like, is the cyclical part, is this game meant to be played through multiple times? Because the second time you're trying to get
the boy has infinite loops to get all of those secrets. He can keep going on and on and on, and keep failing with the Sisyphean monster ball. But if he slowly keeps getting more and more secret stuff, then he can plug out.
Right. Yeah.
I love this game.
It was kind of emotion. It was a little emotionally draining to play.
It's oppressive as fuck.
Yes. So I hesitate to play through again just to get all the things. Maybe I
started playing through again as soon as it jumped me back falling. I just I'm playing again, and then stopped because I wanted to write stuff down before I forgot everything.
That's excellent. It's beautiful.
And then there's foreshadowing stuff as well.
Okay, because you played through it a little bit more afterwards.
Yeah.
So
yeah, but the foreshadowing is stuff I realized just after I finished the game. Beginning of the game, you pull the worm out of the pig, and the pig turns back into its normal self and goes crazy and destroys everything. At the end of the game, you pull the mind control shit off the giant blob, and he goes back to his normal self and goes crazy and destroys everything. There was themes of just control and following. Beginning, there's the chicks that follow you around for no reason. There's the fish that follow you around for no reason.
Yeah, I noticed that.
You just happen to be the controller people. The controller person.
Actually, no. The interesting thing about the fish, though, is that the fish don't follow you until you get dragged down by the little sea monster. Once you get that new power, once you get that control, then they start following you.
Yeah. Birds and fish, two animals known for sticking to groups and following a leader and being subservient and sheep sheep herd.
Right.
And then you control a group of humans with the same exact thing.
And also, I think it's the mid game, right, where you get stuck in the assembly line.
I was gonna talk about that too.
Yeah. So it kind of pulls you back into shows you how frustrating it is to not have control.
Yeah, and that is kind of weird foreshadowing where not really foreshadowing, but you try and fit into that conformity there. Like you literally try and blend in, but you can't because the dog figures you out, right?
Does it send dogs at you? Oh yeah.
No, the dog sniffs you out and runs at you. No, when you're in the assembly line where you're like trying to do the same motions as the zombies, the dog figures you out. You blend in, but not perfectly.
And then you have to run away after that.
Until the end of the game where you literally embody conformity and then you can will blend in there.
Oh, that's super. Oh, ooh, okay. Also, that was like another piece of like clever. That was like a little clever puzzle I had to try a couple times where the dog's chasing you, right? And if you go too fast, the dog also goes too fast and catches you. So you have to, like when you're running away from the dog, you have to wait for the dog to go down the ramp, and then climb up. So the dog has to go around, and then it won't be able to have time to catch up with you.
Yeah, there's a lot of like real world solutions to video game puzzles instead of video game solutions to video game puzzles.
Yes.
Art style incredible, obviously.
Environment just so immersive, just thrown into it immediately and terrified.
There's just as an exciting value, the whole part where you play as the blob is like the moment of the year or the last 5 years or the last 10 years.
I'm so powerful.
It was so fucking awesome to like.
So empowering.
It was cathartic to get that control that you're fighting for the entire game.
Right.
Yeah. And the animation and sound on that was also incredible. The animation of the hands and the way that you try and walk, but you're too weird and lopsided and you fall over, and then more hands come out of you. And stand you back up again. Just that was amazing.
Physics were well done, well simulated. I mean, like whenever you got blown away by the sound blasts.
Yeah. That was so awesome. And the deaths were grisly as shit.
Oh my god. I don't want to get torn apart by a dog
because
ever again.
Of the dreamlikeness. It's cold and doesn't give a fuck about. There's no humanity to it, which fits with everything in that game of fucking zombie people. Of course, there's no humanity when you die. You know, they're not like, it doesn't say you're dead. It's the frame sticks on you for a very long time and then fades to black. There's a part where I jumped just a little too far, and then I died. And I didn't realize it. I was like, oh. He's fine. Why is he not walking? And then the game slowly fades to black, and you, oh shit, I died. That was such a cool moment for me. It was like so like lifeless, literally.
It was so cold and it was very unnerving.
You didn't even realize that you died.
Yeah.
And then, I like it a lot.
It's a very well done game, very well put together.
And there's a theme of you can't accomplish goals by yourself as you can together. Where he accidentally embraces the conformity, he gets sucked into it, but he's better with the group than he is by himself. So as fucked up as it is to have to conform and be part of
with his zombie
part of the pack. Yeah, there's a lot ways that you have to work together with people or things in shitty ways. Like you throw the chickens at the hay bale.
Right.
You have to get 20 zombie people onto the
little platform.
Onto the platform, and you have to become the zombie ball. Like he couldn't have done any of that shit by himself. He needed to embrace the shittiness.
Yeah, that was a pretty depressing moment, by the way. When you're getting that last zombie person,
who's just a dead guy.
Just a dead guy.
He was the 5th zombie person I got.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah.
No, I started from the bottom and got there. Like, I worked my way
Casual
up.
preference.
Yeah, I tried. It was like I think like that was like a really dehumanizing moment, I guess, when you're just dragging that dead body. Have you ever played A Tale of Two Brothers or Tale of Two Sons? Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons.
Called Brothers.
It's just called Brothers. Have you ever played it?
No, but I know everything about it.
Oh,
that's another game that I would
you need to play it. You need to play it.
I know, but I already know the twist and how it goes and everything, and the controller aspects of it.
It's so brutal, brutal.
I love depressing shit. I love it when games like use the medium of games and they use the player as a theme, like BioShock, for example.
Will you kindly? Will you kindly?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You are in control of this. It is a video game. You are in control of this. The boy is. You are just experiencing it with him.
Yeah.
Even though he's done it before and will do it again and again and again until he gets all the secrets and unplugs and gets out of there.
Yeah, I actually thought that the end was where I didn't look it up, but like, well, I thought that like once you get all the secrets, you just hop into a little UFO and just fly away because it looks like a UFO.
What looks like a UFO?
There's the final secret area where is the secret where you unlock all the secrets.
Oh yeah, there's a weird UFO thing there.
Yeah, I was like, oh, do you just get in and then you just fly away?
That is way too wacky for that game.
Yeah, I guess so. Not depressing enough, I suppose. Ah, man, it's a little. I mean, unfortunately, I wasn't super I didn't think about it too much. But now that you've opened up my eyes to the conspiracy theory that is the Sisyphean.
That's when I was like
character.
That's when I was like, hey James, what do you think of the story? You're like, I don't know. Like there wasn't much of a story.
Confusing.
I'm just waiting. Like, no, there's more, James. I don't understand.
Yeah, I was just like, well, I mean. It looked cool, kind of depressing. I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess it definitely warrants another playthrough when I'm emotionally ready. Yeah, so good. I like even if the story is not something you get the first time, the puzzles are very rewarding, very well put together, and it looks very good. $20. It sounds expensive for a game of that, that's.
But does it sound expensive for the third best game of all time?
Priceless. Are you gonna buy it over and over again, Taylor?
Just for everyone that I know, you should play this. Hey,
that's what I do with Transistor. I buy extra copies of Transistor.
Yeah, I have Transistor installed. I have not played it yet. Some bad person.
It's a good game. I mean, it's not Inside.
It's definitely not.
It's not
even
Inside
though I haven't
good.
Played it.
It's not minimalist, but it's certainly good.
Blob Monster, best new character, 2016.
It was quite the twist.
When you get the giant log and you hit the button on the ceiling, it was kind of hilarious, but also terrible. Like it's like the darkest humor of like, I'm this blob of flesh and I have this giant log that I'm pressing buttons with. It's kind of funny, but it does not look funny. It does not sound funny.
I mean, another thing that kind of surprised me was when you launched the little the little box up to the guy and the guy helps you out by pulling the plug for you.
Because they're just like, we can't fight this thing. We have to try and. They try to trap you in the jar at the end. You get out.
Yeah, they try to trap you in the jar.
They're all trying to lead you into that big jar.
And I remember that part where you're trying to get past the door, and then there's that little engineer, that scared little engineer in the corner, and you have to wait for him.
That was awesome. You have to wait for him.
You have to wait for him to open the door, and you squeeze through.
He's like, if you get too close to the door, he runs away again. You have to like awkwardly wait as he opens the door for you.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty. It was pretty entertaining in its own right. Yeah, so I don't know what else there's to say about it other than now that you've talked to me about it, I want more people to play it, and I want more people to talk about it with, because it's definitely worth a conversation or two.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck is up to the upside down water. I don't know how that fits in the theme of anything.
Like other server room,
humans taking way too much control over everything and fucking everything up. That's the best I can.
It seems like a very common theme, right? It's like oh, that's too in your face.
Yeah, the theme of control isn't crazy, but the way that they use video games, like the medium of video games, as an important part of it.
Yes,
and the tone and mastercraft of attention to detail.
Yeah. I hope some other people listen to have a podcast about discussing this game. We're the first, Taylor. We're the first.
Game Informer has one.
Game Informer has a good philosophical talk about it.
Yeah, they talk about it.
Okay.
They don't.
What do you know? What do they cover? Do you know? Or
I listened to it. I don't remember specific details, but they talk about the ending mostly. Is what they talk about.
Yeah. At the end, I was just like, I don't. Oh, they talk. Okay.
What do you think the name Inside means? Is what I said.
Oh, this name Inside.
Yeah.
I mean, just like taking at face value, it just means like, you know, the kid's inside this facility, right? And then like at the end, he breaks out.
He goes deeper and deeper and deeper.
But I suppose.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of it actually, if you think about it, most of the game is you breaking into a building or something. Mm-hmm. Like from the very get go, you break into the farm, right? Break into the factory. You break into the ship. You break into the little CEO's office and squish him.
Oh, you squish him so hard.
Oh yeah,
such an awesome thing.
And then like at the very end, you go outside. I mean, and he just wanted to see the sun, man. I thought, like at the end, that's what I thought. I was like, he just wanted to see the sun because yeah. I don't remember seeing the natural sun in the game the entire time.
No. And the blob looked like a beach whale, which is another environmental.
So, ooh, is this a prequel game?
Death Stranding.
To Death Stranding?
I didn't see naked Norman Reedus anywhere.
No,
this is the boy Norman Reedus.
The boy is Norman Reedus. He was naked. Yeah. Another thing we didn't actually we didn't address was the use of 3D. So I mean, you know, the game the 2.5D, but it becomes like it's weird because the game does not really use the 2D perspective, right? It changes perspective.
Yeah. Well, the developers, the enemy aren't on the same 2D plane as you are. They have more power than you in that way too. The dogs they come from the background towards you, and you only have the option of left and right.
Right.
You have power there too. You don't get control of that.
Well, you do at the end. I mean, you don't. I mean, the player doesn't have control, but the blob does, because you see, like at the end when he's rolling around as the blob, like you kind of see him make like an arc towards the player, and then away when he goes to the CEO's office to squish him. Mm-hmm. So I suppose in a way he gets control of that. The
whole game is left to right though, and I feel like that's the timeline. That's like what that is, of like you're almost exclusively going right. Mm-hmm. And that's because your time is progressing until you reset.
Yeah, it's a very common.
I don't know, most games you kind of like there's backtracking. Like this game is barely. It felt like I noticed that I was only going right. In most games, it's just like, I happen to go right because it's a platformer, but I can go other directions too.
I did a few puzzles, so I ended up going left a fair amount.
Okay.
So like, I mean, I don't know about you, but I mean, yes, overall you are going right. You're right, but like I did a lot of backtracking sometimes because again I got too paranoid. I was like, oh wait, did I miss something? Is there this box I need to drag all the way over there? And it turned out a lot of the times I did. Mm-hmm. I was 100% expecting a companion cube reference when I threw the box into the Inferno.
Oh, that would have fucked everything up.
Just like not even like a reference, like an achievement.
Oh, I still would have hated that. This game must exist on its own. I like how they said Playdead's inside of like, fuck you, this is art. Like this is, it's like Kanye West. Life of Pablo.
Okay.
It says the artist's name right next to the title of the thing.
We should do that more often with more games. Like with all games, really. DICE's Battlefield 1.
I reserve it for art.
You deserve it for art? Are you saying Battlefield 1 is not a work of art in and of itself?
I am, in fact, saying that controversial statement.
I mean, it's a very good-looking game. It looks like art.
It has art in it.
I do remember a little painting of a little lady in one of the buildings that were destroyed. Very sad.
Wow.
Yeah. I think that's a good place to end. I don't know if there's anything else you wanted to mention about the game. I certainly don't.
Everything later.
Yeah, now that you kind of opened up my eyes, I have to sort of process it, so I have to take care of that. But again, thank you for listening. This week's outro and intro brought to you by Grant Webster. If you want to check out his SoundCloud link, check out his hot mixtapes that that fire truck was going for. Check out that SoundCloud link in the video description. If you want to check out Taylor's upcoming article on Inside, and maybe my upcoming article on webcomics. I have a few recommendations for you guys if you want to Look at them. Check out the addendum.wordpress.com. Won't be able to get that.
Sorry, I thought it was Blogspot for a second. But I was like, wait a minute, no, it's not.
Hold on. And again, thank you for listening. If you want to follow us on Twitter, follow me at the James Lee. I'm tweeting about Pokemon Go a lot now.
At T Kelsey.
Not
tweeting very often. Always on Twitter anyway.
Yeah. Hey, it's a good place to get news and stuff these days. Like I'm very very well informed through Twitter these days. It's crazy.
We should post this podcast as a separate thing as well.
I think so too. Actually, I might record a separate outro for the last one we just did. So
cool.
So thank you for listening. On behalf of Taylor and myself, we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Do you understand, James? You understand my love?
It's all in your hands.
It's all inside.
It's all inside.
My brain.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nuts. The nuts game.